Stillness and wellness. 7 surfing tips for COVID time, especially for parents, younger parents, maybe grandparents will be also interested to get through COVID times, keeping your family intact, keeping your relationships intact, keeping the children's future intact, keeping your health intact, keeping your finances intact. Just a scientific update, the Pfizer vaccine was rolled out in great haste before raw data were available about the trials, phase 3 trials. Usually phase 3 trials would be analyzed in peer-reviewed journals and the possible dangers be shown and so on. So what's happening is that anyone having existent allergies is creating problems, and 3,159 in US has different kinds of allergic reactions, including anaphylactic shock, which means the person falls unconscious. There have been 2 of those, and then they have been told those who have had plastic surgery and filling up with different synthetic material. You know what plastic surgery fills up, they have had reactions. And as I have explained, the Pfizer vaccine uses mRNA, piece of mRNA delivered in a nanomolecule of fat, and the mRNA will produce the spike protein in our body, host cell, and the mRNA, and our body is meant to produce the antibody to it, so that spike protein is produced by our body, antibody is produced by our body. So this is the issue. The Moderna vaccine itself follows the same principle. The Oxford vaccine, the AstraZeneca one, uses the adenoma virus to deliver that and keeps the antibody production and spike protein production under the control of the host DNA. So it sounds a better scientific proposition, but all this is the first time ever an mRNA piece of the COVID virus will be producing the spike protein in the host cell in the human body. But that's not my main subject. My main subject is 7 surfing tips for COVID times. So COVID times have come like waves at you and at your kids. But an expert surfer has the surfboards ready to move towards the wave rather than wait for the wave to crash. So I'm suggesting that we develop a lifestyle, anticipate the waves and move towards the waves as we go on. That's my suggestion. So what would be the surfboards be? As I said, your family relationships, your spiritual strength, and so on. Everything to get those ready before things become even worse. Now already Gavi is saying that even if you have had COVID-19 infection, you must have the shot. Also they are saying it's not only one shot, it's other shots. So people are very relieved that the vaccine is out, but we are already told there will be more shots to come. You will have 2. So this is how it is. But today my talk is 7 surfing tips for kids for COVID times, how mom and dad can put that together for. These are the. So the principle is that keep your surfboards, your present relationships intact, and then don't wait for the wave to crash on you. Move towards it with family planning, meaning father, mother, brother, sister, son and daughter, and keep your bubble. And be careful which other bubbles you will interact at this time. Not merely on a sanitary basis, sanitation basis, but on also the basis of these are time relationships are tested. Selfishness is increasing. That's what the Queen also said. Usually in crisis time, it's an excellent talk to listen to the Queen's Christmas talk. Usually in crisis time, people draw towards each other, help each other. But this crisis of COVID has become really a suspicious point. Who has COVID? Who is PCR positive? Now I have extensively written about the PCR. I am DR.Lalith Mendis. My last post was as head of Department of Pharmacology in a state medical faculty. So most of my writings were on the validity of hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin for initial treatment. So if you give the initial treatment, you don't have to admit people to hospital. So if you stop initial treatment or deny home therapy, then you have a recipe for increasing death, increasing intensive care unit people, increasing hospitalization, increasing fear. So that is the narrative that was launched. So you need to read Time of Recovery website headed by Professor Sunetra Gupta and many Oxford professors, and the World Doctors Alliance website headed by Professor Dolores Cahill. She's an authority on biotech and so on. So in Portugal, senior lawyers and senior scientists went to the Supreme Court and obtained a decree presenting scientific evidence that this present science of the PCR and shutdown is fake science. I am of the same view. PCR is trustable only when it has been done with 17 cycles. At 17 cycles of PCR, any positive would be 100% perhaps the live virus. In the PCR, you take 3 sections of the virus gene, and at 17%, all 3 sections at 17 cycles, probably all 3 sections are there and showing up positivity 100%, the true positive. But when it goes to 25 cycles, which is the test, the true positive drop to 70%, which means 30 are false positive. If you do up to 30 cycles, then the true positives drop down to 20. 80% are likely to be false positive. And it is on this myth of PCR that shutdowns are effected globally. So you can see it's a narrative. German senior lawyers in Germany, Netherlands, Belgium and Switzerland is getting together with senior scientists who are saying this is fake science, including Prof. Carl Hennigan of the Center for Evidence-Based Medicine, Oxford, Prof. Tom Jefferson. They have all written on it. My blog is DR.Lalith Mendis.wordpress.com. Please go there, you'll get scientific details. Or if you send me a WhatsApp to +94 77 49 59 214. Also, we can send you the relevant clips. Send it with the request, whether it's COVID science, digital science, happy hour, brain bright, whatever the clips I have done. This is my 131st clip, just to keep you thinking, not to give up thinking at this time. So COVID times have waves coming back at you and kids. So the expert surfer, the surfing board, keep it ready for your relationships that have worked for you, so that you go over the wave. And I'm suggesting to you, there is a time that you will realize man needs more than brain. His coexistence, I have said it again and again, it's a spirit here, and we have conscience for an umpire, and don't match fix that umpire. And then we have heart, the seed of generation, the dynamo of generating our thoughts and desires and so on. But conscience is the gateway valve that says, that's go ahead, don't go ahead with that. So man is not merely big brain. Then of course we have our imagination that pulls children to the future fantastic, especially with sci-fi. And then their memory revved up by amygdala and all the digital games, doing flight, fright, fight. So it's a time that has to do more with the son and daughter, to give them a 3A, not a Fitch rating, a DAD rating of ascertain what they are able to do, affirm them all the time, and so on, which is very important. So what should you do? 1, practical advice, then a little more theory. 1, a timetable for the time they don't have school. I would say not a very strict timetable, but a strict timetable. In it, you must establish 2 sleep-wake times. Children must wake up by 6 o'clock. Then they gather the sunrise, and then the chronobiological rhythm comes into play. Little more about this later. If the children sleep late and get up at 10 in the morning, then their chronobiological system, the insulin growth hormone, cortisol, adrenaline axis of action gets a jump start. That is not good. That's how you get diabetes. So children must wake up softly with the sunrise, then the melatonin tones down, and that effect begins to have the right chronobiological trigger for the insulin to start slow, growth hormone to start gradually, cortisol, adrenaline axis to enter gradually. So early morning, don't stress up your children, asking them questions, trying to correct early morning, shouting at them for late nights. Attend on it the day before evening, before all this happens. So if there's a long habit of sleep-awake disturbance, you have to then take cognizance of it. You have to apply yourself for it. You have to. When things go smooth, mom makes it daily safe. Dad takes over for next step, next stretch, and for course correction. Dad has to take over. So one timetable. What did I mean by timetable? Get up at 6 o'clock. What do you do at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock? I mean, it will involve sports. If you want to give them digital time, it has to be before 6 p.m. Then the study time, then someone has to supervise the Zoom, because from Zoom, whatever the digital platform, they will run into other troubles. You know that. So if there's a grandmom or dad at home to do some supervision, what I'm saying is this. Parents are stressed because of COVID, finance, work, all that. But you can't forget your main project, giving the best future for children. You agree with me, isn't it? Yes. So don't allow them to get drawn by fantasies, then by bad experience of thrill and peril and repeating those things. Timetable 2, establish sleep-wake times. 3, establish governance with respectful meal times. As much as possible, sit down for a formal meal. No television at this time, no digital screen, no smartphone for dad, mom or child. You can't say, in Sinhala there's a saying, our vernacular, "Ovadenu parahata tama sammate pita sita." Also, that means stand on, you first do the thing you're asking them to do. And we have the parable about the crab, that the crab tells the little crablings walk straight when she is walking crooked, yes. So establish governance with respectful meal times. Meal times is brain brilliant times. Meal times are great times to get children on course for the thing you have for them. It's the most brain absorbing time, the best management time under the age of 5. And under the age of 5, that's the time you learn all your prayers, spiritual life, good sayings, good stories, good interaction, good habit, good mannerism. So please, during meal times, no screen, sit properly for a proper meal. Don't watch television and start doing meals. Please don't. So meal times are brain brilliant times, heart warm times. Fourthly, let there be enough physical activity, because not only it's good for health, it is during fun and games and running around playing cricket that dad coaches your son. That was good stroke, son, that was, you can improve. So it can't be long lectures. Parents are into long lectures saying you didn't do that. Now, this generation, being kinesthetic, picks up correction much better when they're at play. So please, dad, daily you must play something where these children are gated all the time. So you have to be there for them. You have to come early enough, and if you are working from home, if you are working till 12 midnight, who will do what with them? So please, you must have enough playtime with them daily, even 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Then if you can get to the beach, the sand is a geometric particle. It's a great design, I think, of God. Sand is a geometric particle. That's how the sand bank stops the ocean. And then the sand, playing on the sand, you know the sand principle, running on the sand, works on the brain for empathic executive stimulation. Think and do stimulation comes when they are meddling with sand. Of course, with Creole, hard clay, even soft clay is okay, but hard clay is better. So doing many molding activities. I have done this quite a bit with my digital sand stops. If you want a deeper, longer session on how to make brain brilliant while on the screen, there's a specific clip for that. Send me a WhatsApp message to +94 77 49 59 214. Yes. I'm available for Zoom talks on Microsoft Teams for companies or schools or parents. So you can contact me for that. Then fifth one, 7 p.m. happy hour you must keep. because that's the time you get them ready for sleep. I have said this often. So at 7 p.m., no TV, no smartphone, you're with the kids and you're going through the happy time and getting them ready for sleep, which means you're getting ready for next day. You have to keep that 7 p.m. appointment for your kids. If you can keep it for 1 hour, good. If you can keep it for 2 hours for them, it's great. Yeah, that's right. You are sacrificing all the news channels at that time for your children's welfare. 7 p.m. happy hour. Then put them to sleep with that would be a great boon, because that's the time GABA is working on their brain. That's the time they get mea culpa. That's the time they say, Dad, I got this wrong, Mom, I got this wrong, that kind of feeling. Sixthly, mistake management strategy without confrontation. Course correction is necessary, but you can't break down their confidence. That is the important thing. It must be with affirmation. So you make use of mistake management time. You know the principle of the cross. This is about this birth of Christmas. The principle of the cross is the senior, the good shepherd, absorbs our error and absolves us of the consequence. That's the cross talk. So dad has to absorb the error, sit down, no shouting, and then offer how he may come out of it. So we are into redemptive justice, how to do it better next time, not into retributive justice, which is and then say, well, you did that time, and recall all the error. That way children don't improve. Don't recall the error, recall for them the good way forward. So mistake management strategy without confrontation. Then the seventh one, do studies with them. You have to find a subject in which you can help them. Let's say Sinhala or English or Tamil, something, math or whatever. Learn the subject even, and you have to spend time because they are struggling. So dad has to get into it, mom has to get into it. We know already mom is in it, and dragging dad is the problem. He is also like elephant in the cage. So that you have to get into doing studies with the children. Those are the 7 practical things. Then I have this topic, stillness is wellness. Please increase still moments in your kids' life, which encourage deep thought. So don't allow them to put music in their ear and jazz it up all the time. Your house is full of jazz and full of sound. Please reduce sound content, because deep thought increases brain brilliance. Similarly, when 12 to 14 years, get them to sleep at 11 p.m. the latest and wake them up at 6 p.m. the latest, 6 a.m. the latest. As I told you, they must see the sunrise, and the melatonin reduces and the insulin growth hormone, cortisol, adrenal axis comes into play. Otherwise, they get up late and jerk, and I told you, it's not good for blood pressure, it causes childhood obesity, it causes diabetes. Yeah. I have a full clip on medical effects, so if you want, you can send me your email also, or WhatsApp. I can send you some written article or whatever, but you have to tell me exactly what you're asking for. Deep thought and inward reflection grow memory cells before the age of 14 years. After 14 years, memory cells don't grow. Memory cells growth and tracks are related to your IQ potential. That's the thing. After that, you can adjust yourself to some field. But if you teach your child to grow memory cells, minimal digitizing and games and so on, till the age of 14, deep thought, reflective times, encouraging reflection, reading to the son and daughter and asking questions. Dad, you have to do this. I have 5 books for this, yes, to get dad interacting with son. One is called Love, Light and Life, based on the first 10 chapters of Genesis. Another is called Wonder and Wisdom. So 5 books that you can, little sections, you read it with them. Some of these books are available at Saraswati Bookshop, some are available at Vijitayappa. All are available from Brookside Bookshop, 374 Leslie Ranagala Mawatha, Borella. We are open all weekdays, or you can obtain it from the website. Smaller books on right recovery, right learning, and smaller books we can even post to you if you want to have them. After the age of 14 years, these memory and reflection networks, MRN networks, do not grow. After neurotrauma, some effort takes place to recover, which is called neuroplasticity, but in the normal brain, what you have is what you have developed until 14 years. So take care of your child to develop memory, reflection, executive, empathic tract, not the bottom-up tract through the amygdala. Do not fill your home with random sound, blaring hi-fi sets or TV all the time. Tell kids that they will not retain in memory anything if they have music plugged into their ears all the time. Don't fight them. Tell them the science, coach them, take time with them. Then you have to set right their melatonin-regulated sleep-awake cycle. Consequences of sleeping late and awaking late are ruin, connect, collate, recall, apply memory. That is the study process. Connect, collate, recall, apply, put into memory. I call it CRAM, C-C-R-A-M. This is a cascade. If you don't get your proper sleep, the learning cascade doesn't happen. It is in the night you store things into your hard memory and you wake up in the morning feeling sha. I remember all I studied. So this keeping up till 3 o'clock in the morning, getting up at 10 will not do. 11 o'clock sleep, 6 o'clock latest wake up. 2. Cause this habit of waking wrong, sleeping wrong, causes kid to miss NREM and REM sleep cycles, where dream life contribute to brain brilliance, brain health, retinal health, all other regulation based on melatonin. True for adults also, such as health of all organs, sexual organs containing chromaffin cells are regulated by melatonin from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. So night time is important. Sleep time is important for health, study, brilliance, future, career. 3. If you miss the early sunrise trigger for right chronobiological rhythm, it results in unhealthy insulin and growth hormone spiking. So get up at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, see the sunrise. You just wake up and sunlight coming into you, and then you get it right. This disruption contributes to childhood obesity and diabetes, which is not good. 4th, the coffee drinking that is allied with keeping up in the night is a very bad habit. Causes caffeine addiction, and drinking coffee on an empty stomach promotes diabetes is the research. Either morning or late night, drinking coffee on an empty stomach. So reduce it. Number 5, when you don't get your proper sleep, you miss that GABA feeling that comes at 9 p.m. You feel like a child, you want to sleep, you want to be hugged. All these children need, maybe you also need, and then you have your proper sleep. So when you sleep disturb, push back sleep, you lose the GABA, aminobutyric acid effect of empathy, feeling cooled. This results in dyspathy and rude behavior. Now, balanced life for kids in COVID time. 1. Heart desires and the conscience the umpire. I told you man is spirit. That's why if you know God, acknowledge God, there's a good shepherd in life who can lead you. It's such a boon, So man is spirit. So then 3 sets have to be balanced for a child's balanced growth. Heart desires and conscience is the umpire. So heart generates, but conscience is the umpire that regulates. Shall we say heart generates, but conscience regulates? Don't match fix the umpire. Then it will not give you right indication. So growing respect for others includes parents growing dignity for kids. Never shout at them. Use mistake management session to grow confidence. Correction must never be at the sacrifice of confidence. So use that time to invest in the child. Sit down in the child. That's a cross principle. Absorb their error. You give them redemption or a solution. That's the way of the good shepherd. So dad is the good shepherd for that purpose. Mom can handle when things are smooth. Dad steps in when things are rough. Point number 2, imagination for future and memories from a past have to be balanced. Digital spook, sci-fi make kid to imagine the undoable. His gloating increases, boasting, performance goes down. So whatever he imagines during 24 hours, 50% he must do. So gardening, into that timetable, include gardening, playtime, fish pond, whatever, grips and ropes. We at our Empathic Learning Center in Borella, 374 Mavata, we have a grips and ropes challenge center to improve brain brilliance and balance and so on. That's part of the thing we do for kids and young fellows. Memories, what he reads must be in the doable creativity range. Otherwise, sci-fi pushes them to fantastic and absurd, which is not good. He will increasingly wire the weird. Memories from the past are, or year, work through the amygdala to establish a bottom-up regulation. So when you are into thrill, peril, fight, fright, flight, amygdala that's called bottom-up, meaning from the last hour, you are pushed forward. And you are not thinking and doing. So balance imagination and memory. Thirdly, calibration and celebration has to be balanced. Calibration is quality and test. Celebration is reward and look back. So that celebration is to rejoice and reward. Two must be balanced. So there must be enough calibration, quality things, he is accountable and so on. Wiring up top-down regulation involves initiation, navigation, conclusion and reward cascade. Well done. Who says well done? In your inside. That's how you balance your dopamine and your serotonin for check back and improvement. So these are the things that I thought I'll share with you, gave you a theoretical background and practical things to do with your kids. So remember always, if you work with the Good Shepherd, you have a compass in your life. These are difficult times. Dad, I plead with you, you have to give time for your children. They are going through great difficulty. So let me reiterate the timetable. Establish sleep-wake times. 3, establish governance respectfully at meal times. Be present, don't be absent. 4, enough physical activity where you can coach the child. That's important. Just don't give lectures. 5th one is 7 p.m. is happy hour. Give 1 hour for your kids, please, and for your family. 6, mistake management strategy without confrontation. Course correction must not involve breaking down confidence by shouting at them. Then you have to teach 1 subject at least with your son to cover up for absence of school. They lose a lot by not having school. Thank you for listening. We'll meet again at another time.